Okay, it's Monday, August 11th. It's hard to believe we're almost halfway through August, and colder temperatures and frost and things will be happening within a month or so. Again, I'm asking you hit the like button when you watch the video. It'll take a second, doesn't cost you anything. And also go to www.weather-outlook.com and you can look at all the stuff I post there, and that's free to view. So let's get to the weather. It's going to be changing a little bit. The heat's on right now in some places, but we're also going to talk about some of the stuff that people are saying out there about the hurricanes and things like that. Let's try to put some of those things in order today before I sign off. First of all, you can see temperatures out by Pittsburgh near 90, a little over 90. The I-95 corridor is near 90, so it's actually pretty warm out there. Now it's cool up in the Northeast. The Poconos, Laurel Highlands are in the upper 70s to around 80. The Wyoming Valley's in the mid 80s, going up towards Tunkhannock and then that way. But overall, it's not bad weather. It's not unusual for these temperatures that we have. Now I'm showing you this map, and this is tomorrow morning's lows. Mostly 60s across the tri-state area. Maybe out by Pittsburgh, it's right around 70. But the thing I'm trying to make a point by showing you this is, despite the warm days, where we could have, chilly, nice nights, and that brings your average down. So when people start looking at averages, there'll be a lower average than is seasonable, but got to remember the daytime highs are still up in the 80s. So, but we are cooling, and we have longer nights, and you know, we have the winds die down a little bit at night, and so therefore you have the radiation cooling. Now, this is the radar tomorrow morning. It's kind of clear. There's some showers, maybe some drizzle along the southern part of Pennsylvania early on in the day, but then as you go through the daytime hours, as you get towards evening, you can see some thunderstorms are beginning to pop up. That's basically because of the heat. When those thunderstorms are popping up, temperatures at that point in time are pretty warm. They're in the 90s out by Pittsburgh and Erie, and that way it's upper 80s and 90s. And along the I-95 corridor, it's in the upper 80s to near 90. Wouldn't doubt if you could see some low 90s in the I-95 corridor. But you can see, thunderstorms are beginning to form, and that's when you can see these little slots where it's cooler than everything that's around it. Now, this is about 11 o'clock at night, Tuesday night. This is tomorrow, and you can see there's rain and maybe an embedded heavier rain or thunder shower in there somewhere as we get to that hour. And as we go closer to morning, this is after midnight, you can see they don't quite make it across the state, but then you kind of notice towards sunrise, you have scattered showers, drizzle in some areas, these grays, and you have some steadier rains out here off and on. But basically, it's cloudy as we come across, and moves across the state on Wednesday. Here it is, Wednesday around 10 o'clock in the morning, and it looks like a pretty heavy cell down here by Rehoboth Beach, crossing into New Jersey. Here's a cell up here towards Montrose. Here's another one back here towards Harrisburg, and some smaller ones back here north Block Haven and there. But you can see they're moving across, and what that means temperature-wise, it means it's cooler behind that, and then as the storms move to the east, if the sun comes out, as you can see, it's counting that the sun's going to come out on Wednesday, and so some areas get into the 80s. But where the sun doesn't get out, or the showers are late in the afternoon, temperatures are down in the 70s. And then as the evening goes on, they kind of cool off. And then as you get towards Thursday morning, we get to about here on Thursday morning, you can see basically everybody's in the 60s or right around 70. So, it's not all that bad. I mean, it's not all that bad. Now you can see below normal here, but as you can see on the 20th of August, we have what would be a tropical storm out here. Could make itself into a hurricane. It does show a pressure of 955. But the only people, I think that, there might be some riptides along the coast, but this storm is going to stay east. It's not going to hit southeastern part of the United States. It's going to stay out to sea. If you're going to Bermuda, then you need to batten down the hatches. But that's kind of where that's at. And then this goes away, and then you can see there is not another hurricane. There's a low moving across Keys down there, but that's about it. It may start to try to do something in the Gulf. So this is a long range map around 17th or so of August, and you can see 10 degrees or so above normal out there. That's the differential from normal. But temperatures you can see are into the 90s. So we're not quite done with the 90s. I mean, there is cool air to the north, but we're not done with, you can see it trying to sneak down up here. If you look up here, you can see 40s are up here, but we're just not into that area yet. Here is the 18th again. The heat's here, and it's a little cooler to the north, but basically Pennsylvania is still doing 70s, 80s, and even a 90 here and there as you get into the fall next week. And then um, there's that storm that's going to be off the coast out here. But it really, riptides is about all that we got to worry about on the United States when that. But you can see these hot temperatures now are pretty much staying a little bit to the south. So you can see that cold air is trying to make its way down. Um, but again, during daytime hours, like this is the 20th, um, we have temperatures on the 20th that are basically 60s and 70s during the day, and that's a little bit below normal. So, again, up and down, up and down, up and down. This is August, and you can see I'm moving this ahead. It's the 22nd. You can see the I-95 corridors on it, but then there's this drops down right around the 23rd of August, and this is some colder temperatures. And you can see this blue here is below normal temperatures, pretty cold temperatures. And it's going to get the daytime highs to stay down into the upper 60s to 70s for a few days there. Here you can see where the blues are over PA. And then, this kind of keeps us normal. But then here comes the heat back towards the end of the month a little bit, and there it is right there. You can start to see it's starting to move again north, and this is around the 26th of August. And so, um, we have to see if it makes any inroads to that. But I think we really begin to feel the cool temperatures after about the 18th or 19th or so of August, and then we start to see average to maybe a little bit below normal, with an occasional day where it gets hot, but that's about it. But the big thing here is I'm trying to make a point is that hurricane that would basically form won't do anything to the U.S. except some riptides and waves. But if you're going to Bermuda, I would look twice at the forecast before you go out that way, because I know if you're on a cruise ship, they're going to pull out of harbor early, or they're not going to pull in. They're going to wait it out. They may even cancel the trip. And then if you're flying in, again, there might be some delays and stuff like that going on. But check it out. Keep weary that Bermuda might be affected by that storm. All right, everybody, take care. Be safe out there. Hit that like button for me, please.